Good evening. This is Chris around the ATL. It is Monday, April 27th. The month of April is almost gone. So tonight I have two things I want to do on around the ATL. I'm going to go over game four, but I have some questions. If you remember Radio Shack, they had a slogan, "You got questions, we got answers." Well, I'm flipping it. We have questions. Are there answers? Maybe not. But I'm going to throw some things at y'all. Hopefully you respond back, okay? Whenever I do post this, because I'm not doing this live. I just got home from work, so we're going to try to pull this off. So I'm trying to figure out which one do I want to do first. Do I want to go over the game review first or go over these questions first? I think I want to do the questions first. So hopefully I don't lose everybody. Hopefully you return back to watch the game review. So let's see. That being said, we have questions. Are there answers? Because I saw some stuff posted on the internet again and some stuff directed to me, I'm going to direct it to y'all. Okay? Yes or no? Okay? Do you believe that if Jalen Johnson only played 36 games this season, we did not have NAW this season, and you didn't have Kuminga for 20 games this season, do you believe the Hawks would have made the playoffs this year? Do you believe they win the division this year? Yes or no? 36 games of Jalen Johnson. After game 36, he's no longer playing. We never had NAW this year. We didn't have Kuminga for the last 20 games. You did have Dyson, you did have Okongwu, and you had CJ and the rest of the roster at that point. Do you believe that group would have made the playoffs this year? Qualified? Would they have won the division? Qualified? Yes or no? Think about it. Get back to me on that. Okay? So let me ask this secondary question. Do you believe, okay, with that, just that scenario, okay? Well, let me stop right there, okay? With just that scenario, okay, we did have Jalen Johnson for 70 plus games this year. We did have NAW for an entire season, and we had Kuminga for 20 games. With the rest of the roster, the Hawks won 6 more games than the year before. Do you think that matters or not? Having an entire season of Jalen Johnson. I'm going to ask it a different way, right? We have questions. Are there answers? Does it matter? Okay, and I'll get to the matter part in a little bit. But I just wanted to rephrase that a little bit. We did have Jalen Johnson, we did have NAW, and we did have Kuminga for 20 games. We won 6 more games than the year before. 6. Not 16 more games, not 20 more games. We won 6 more games. Won the division, clinched the 6th seed with basically 3 different players. Okay. Now, I didn't mention CJ because CJ technically replaced the production of the other player, just on points, technically, right? Because the other player was averaging 24. CJ's averaging about 18. But CJ's not averaging 10, 11 assists a game, which does count towards total points contributed to the team. Remember, the other player, right, was a league leader in points generated for the team and the NBA leader in points generated by assists, right? So one player for CJ, and that's that, right? But those other 3 players, again, did it matter? Does it matter? Let me ask another question. Do you believe that from one year to another, that Niang, Georges Niang, Karis, I am not your Casanova, LeVert, and Terrence Mann are better than JJ, NAW, and Kuminga? And if you do believe they're better, explain why. Message the IMTN Worldwide Radio YouTube channel on this particular episode and tell me why you believe that. Tell me why you think those players are better than JJ, NAW, and Kuminga. And does it matter? Do you think Dominic Barlow and Plowden and the other players that are no longer on this roster were really good players or not? Yes or no? Something to think about, right? Where are those players on other teams right now? Let me ask you this question. Are the players that are not on this roster right now on other teams helping their teams win a championship this year? Are any of the players that were used to be on this roster since 2018 on another roster helping another team win a championship? Yes or no to that question? And does it matter? The reason I bring any of this up is because I had someone directly say, well, Chris, this is the first year of such and such being in the playoffs. Well, that shouldn't matter, right? That shouldn't matter. If it's apples, oranges, and you're trying to compare, you can't say that. That's not something that you can say. Why? Because the other former player in their first foray into the playoffs, it was obvious that that player was the best player on the court. He did get the team out the first round, got the team out the second round, and if not for that stupid little injury with the ref, probably get to the NBA Finals. Look who's on that roster as compared to who's on this roster. Another question why I'm bringing that up right now, right? Because again, people say, well, you can't, this is first foray into the playoffs and everything. No, it can't be that. If you're the guy, right? What have I been saying for a while now? We need Allstar Jalen Johnson to be able to advance through the playoffs, to get out the first round. And it has to be about, let me ask you a question. Do you think it's important to get out the first round or not? Why wouldn't it be all of a sudden not important to get out the first round of the playoffs now? It's always been a big deal before, but now all of a sudden you're going to just shrug it off and be like, oh, if you lose, we just lost. We lost to a better team. Are we going to really say that? Or are we going to say, well, it was Jock Landale, he didn't play, we just didn't have enough? That can't be true because we won the division and clinched the 6th seed, right? I'm asking questions now. Are there any answers to these things? I don't know, right? Let's get back to 2020-2021 season. If that particular player was able to get all the way to the Eastern Conference Finals and help the team get to within 2 games of the NBA Finals with a roster that is not better than this year's roster, that bench might be better than our bench. But overall, you can't, again, here's some questions. Do you believe that Kevin Huerter is better than Dyson Daniels? Think about that answer before you say it. This is Dyson Daniels, 2-time defensive team player, was runner-up to Defensive Player of the Year a year ago. I think he's 9th this year, right? Do you think Hunter is better than NAW? You really think that? Hunter couldn't even stay on the Cavs. He didn't help them get past the first round a year ago, did he? Yes or no? Where is Hunter right now? Jalen Johnson is better than John Collins. He is. Now, you can kind of mix mash Okongwu and Clint. Clint could rebound better than Okongwu, but Clint could never score. Can't even hit a free throw. Can't hit no 3, that's for doggone sure, right? So they kind of cancel each other out, right? throw Bogey in there, I guess. But then we got Kuminga. Kuminga, Bogey will get you 16 even. But Kuminga could play a little bit of defense, so they can kind of cancel each other out. At the end of the day, that 2020 roster is not as good as this roster. But guess what? The 2020 roster was indeed better than 2019 and 2018. How do we know that? Because they made it to the Eastern Conference Finals. They won the division. Ain't that strange? They gave up less points that year than the previous 2 years consecutively because they had better players. The former player that doesn't play here no more, he took less shots that season because he didn't have to take as many shots. Want to know why? Because all of a sudden you had Bogey out there, you had Gallo out there, you had Clint out there finishing it up. Clint was a beast that first year in Atlanta, wasn't he? So you have people who have said, well, it won't matter if we get knocked out the first round of playoffs. If Jalen Johnson doesn't play his best, it's his first time in the playoffs. I'm sorry, that don't fly. Just basketball and sports-wise. From what everybody's been saying, eliminating and erasing and dismissing and demeaning and disrespecting that former player as if he ain't did anything. When he did take a team to the Eastern Conference Finals, he did take a team 3 times in a row to the playoffs. That happened. He's 26-9 in the playoffs, average. He's a league leader in fourth quarter scoring. All-time NBA, he's top 3 in scoring with the last 10 seconds left. Jordan and Kobe are up there with him. Or he's up there with Jordan and Kobe, however you want to say that, right? He was 3rd in clutch player of the year voting last year. He led the league in assists, led the league in points generated by assists, 2nd in the league to the Joker in points generated by his team. So until Jalen Johnson does those things, how could he be elevated as better than that player by a long shot? We hadn't even got up the first round yet. And then on that basis, is Jalen Johnson playing like the best player on the team? Because right now, CJ is the best player on the team right now. That is a fact. We're relying on CJ to hopefully he scores 30 points a game right now. That's not sustainable. I've been saying what's not sustainable for a couple of games now, right? It's not sustainable to keep giving up the points in the paint and the rebounds and the second chance points. We can't keep doing that and expect to win. Can we? Another question. I don't believe so. The 2 wins that we have are about 1 point. The odds of that happening are very small. The other night, I told y'all how many times in NBA history has a team won back-to-back games by 1 point. It's like 5 teams ever. It's not sustainable. The 2 times that the Knicks beat us, there's a gap there. Isn't there? If we don't get the best of Jalen Johnson, who's our best player, right? We have to get that to win. We have 1 player on our bench. That's Kuminga. If he doesn't play well, what are we going to do? We almost, for the 3rd straight game, had 2 starters not get double figures. At the last moment, Okongwu was able to get a couple of buckets, and he had 12. I'll go through it in detail. But Dyson, again, 2nd night in a row, has 6 points in the game. That happened. That really happened. So it don't matter now. Now, again, we can win the next 2 games. It's possible. Or we can win game 7. It's possible. And then we have to get to the 2nd round, right? Which at this point, who's the bracket? Let's see who the bracket would be. I'll do this real quick. I'm going to finish my questions in a second, but I just want to look real quick. How do I find the bracket on this thing? If we do beat the Knicks, bracket, duh. It's right there in front of me. If we do beat the Knicks, we would be playing the winner of Celtics 76ers, which right now looks like it's going to be the Boston Celtics. So is the way that we're playing right now, if we beat the Knicks, sustainable against the Celtics? Y'all believe that? Points in the paint, second chance points, fast break points, giving up 45% from three against the Celtics? Who's going to be guarding Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum? Question. Because, see, when I asked that question a couple of years ago, you know what I was told? Oh, well, that former player was supposed to play those guys. And that doesn't make any logical basketball sense, does it? I'm asking a question. Does it really make sense to put the worst defender on your team on the best two offensive players on the other team? Those guys averaged 29 points a game when we had DJ and Hunter on our team. So are they not supposed to play defense? And that is the question that I've been asking for years. Where are all the people talking about defense with the players that we had on the roster who's supposed to be good at defense? And they didn't play defense. No one has nothing to say, right? Why is that? We have questions. Are there answers? Why is there no accountability or responsibility for the other people on the team to do their jobs on a regular enough basis? Because, see, the teams that have enough players to do their jobs on a regular enough basis, they win championships. They're in the championship round regularly. They're in the Eastern Conference Finals regularly. They're winning the divisions regularly because they have people who do their jobs all the time, not once in a while, not once in a blue moon. If we had all these players on our roster over the last 7-8 years that were doing their jobs all the time, how come they're not doing it on other teams and helping those teams win championships? How come they're not even in the NBA? I was told Kobe Buffkin is better than that former player. He was the heir apparent. You know what? He's going to start this year. Go ahead and get rid of the other guy now. That dude couldn't even beat out Bronny. And their college careers are not even comparable. Kobe Buffkin is much better than Bronny, but not apparently. And so now Bronny averaging 5 points in the playoffs is a huge deal, right? Where are all these other players that were supposed to be good, great, excellent? Excellent, like Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. So again, rosters matter. And for the fact that we have a better roster this year because we had a full season of Jalen Johnson, that's a key component in this. He played 36 games last year and averaged 18 and 10. He plays the whole season last year. He's an all-star last year probably. And we're definitely not in the play-in, just Jalen. We won 6 more games with Jalen, NAW, and 20 games of Kuminga. What if we had Jalen Johnson last year? What if we had kept Hunter averaging 19 points a game last year? We were in 5th in the East last year with that lineup. Also, remember, we also lost Larry Nance Jr. He was averaging 8 and 4 for us. He was pretty productive. He had some pretty good nights for us. He was out there giving energy, getting boards, hitting threes. Remember his three-point percentage? It was crazy. Then we lost him for the season as well. Right? I showed y'all what happened in that Miami play-in. Zach going 1 for 11. Dyson can't hit no shots. I showed you that. Niang going 1 for 5 in the fourth quarter, while the other player went 4 for 6 in the fourth quarter and got us to overtime. We only had 2 people for the Atlanta Hawks scoring that overtime. I showed you all this on Around the ATL. I showed you all of it. You don't got to believe me. All you got to do is go to NBA.com and go play-by-play. And you can see every possession and see who does what every possession. And you can see who gives up all the points on the Atlanta Hawks, which is why I did a whole episode, 2 episodes on rosters from the 80s all the way to now. I did an episode from 2018 all the way till now to show you production on offense and production on defense. I showed you defensive rating, plus, minus, defensive rebounds, blocks, not screens, but charges taken, all that stuff. And I'm like, how come all these other players are down at the bottom? You said that they were better. how can you keep saying that when this is where they're at? How come this person has this defensive rating? Why is he at the bottom? Why is he at the bottom? How come he's not contributing? Why do we have Bruno Fernando twice on this roster? Where's Bruno Fernando now? Where's Frank the Tank? Where's Kobe Buffett? Where's Cameron Oliver? You see what I'm saying? Again and again and again, you were told things and you believed it, but you just didn't watch the game. So many people never watch Atlanta Hawks games. I don't understand how you do that, but it's silly at this point. Because you can't continue to just try to wash away someone's career and then you ignore all this other stuff because it matters. Because question, do you believe that Jalen Johnson is playing at an all-star level right now? And do you care? Because he's our best guy. He is the guy. We need to win a championship this year, next year, or the year after that, since it was decided that we're going to build around Jalen Johnson. Right? That's what was decided. We're not going to put no good players around the other player. We don't care. We did do a little bit, but it didn't work out with Porzingis. It didn't. Dante got hurt, and and we're just going to let it go. Right? We're not going to address these things and try to see what it looks like if we can get everybody together on the court. Oh, well, we did, Chris. We lost 8 games. We lost 8 games because people were playing bad. NAW said as much in his interview. That wasn't his fault. That was all of our faults. We played like crap. I showed y'all games. I showed y'all how 3 people gave up 71 points in that one game against the Bulls. And that former player wasn't the one who gave up the most points. 3 people gave up more points than he did. So y'all don't blame those 3 players for not playing defense? You don't care about that. You see what I'm saying? How can you not care about those things when that was the reason we lost the game? 2-point game, by the way. You don't have to believe anything I say. The game film shows everything. Not just the box score, the game stats, the game footage shows you what happens. You can have your opinion, but you need to base it on some facts, because otherwise people are going to ask questions. Every time you say something that don't make no sense, somebody's going to ask a question. We have questions. Are there answers? It is about Jalen Johnson, because Jalen Johnson is supposed to be the guy. He's supposed to be elevated. We need the best out of him, and Josh Hart is virtually shutting him down. We won't even post up Jalen Johnson. I've been asking this. Why don't we at least post him up? If Hart is good enough to keep him from getting to his spots and not letting him drive and all this kind of stuff, why don't we just let him go back to the basket and just punch him in there? Why can't he could just then right shoulder and just that's it? Josh Hart can stop him doing that too. Because that means we're in trouble if that's the case. Because if Josh Hart can do it, who on the Celtics can do that to Jalen Johnson as well? And if we get past this, if we was to get past the Celtics, that would be interesting. We're either playing, well, I don't know. Who would we be playing? We would be playing the winner of Pistons, Magic, and Raptors, Cavs. Whoever wins that. So maybe the Pistons, maybe the Raptors. I don't know. Can't tell right now. Orlando leads the Pistons right now, so that ain't no done deal either. So does it matter right now that we continue to do what we've been doing? Is that sustainable? Giving up the points in the paint, the second chance points, the 3-point percentage, the timely rebounds that we give up. Is that sustainable with our best player not playing their best? If he's playing his best, maybe. Again, we were fortunate to win those 1-point games. Free throws were missed. We almost lost because of free throws, y'all. Ain't that the scariest thing, to get eliminated because of some free throws? That's not cool to me. Why doesn't it matter to y'all? Some of y'all, anyway. We need more. I said that we have to basically hope that Kuminga could give us 20 points a game. The history this season said we were not going to get that too many times. We did get it back-to-back games, though, but then we needed the 3 games in a row. We didn't get it, right? We need more out of a Okongwu. He needs to be boarding out of control. He's done it before. Last year, the last 2 months of the season, he was averaging 15 and 10 and 16 and 11. He's not rebounding like he used to this year. He just isn't. And a lot of that's because he's taking all these threes. He's not nowhere near around to rebound like he used to. So there's a give and take in that. But we shouldn't be relying on Okongwu to hit threes, though, at the same time, right? Dyson Daniels is hitting 18% from 3. Last year, he was hitting 34%. There was a reason for it. Someone was getting him the ball exactly where he needed to. Zach was averaging 13 points a game last year. This year, barely 9. At 4 30-point games a year ago. This year, he's been benched. Why? Because somebody was getting him the ball exactly where he needed to be every single time. Every single time, right? It matters. And the times where Jalen Johnson and that former player did play together, they played really well together when Jalen was available. Remember, Jalen Johnson played 36 games last year, and the year before that, 56 games. Year before that, he played 70, but only 15 minutes a game. And the year before that, well, of course, he wasn't really playing. He was hurt. He's played 5 seasons. This whole season was based on Jalen playing the entire season, wasn't it? It was basically why the Hawks were viewed as a dark horse contender for the championship. If we got a whole season out of Porzingis and JJ at the same time, with NAW coming off the bench and Okongwu coming off the bench, now you have depth. And as long as Dyson and Zach play like they did a year ago, man, right? Didn't work out, though. So let's get into the game. I wonder if it'll let me go backwards. Probably. Was that Saturday? That was Saturday. Saturday the 25th. So game 4 of the NBA playoffs, we saw the Atlanta Hawks get beat 114-98. Okay. Now, I was working. I had a photo shoot in Flowery Branch. So when I was done with my photo shoot, I got in the car, and I turned on 92.9 the game, and Steve Holman told me that we're 24 points down. And I'm like, what in the what is going on? Because again, I didn't have no clue. I hadn't been looking at my phone or nothing. I was shooting. I was busy. Had a prom photo shoot. I was busy that whole time. So I said, man, oh man, oh man. And then after the game was over, the post-game show, Mike Conte wasn't available because he was in Toronto because he had did the Atlanta United match. And this guy named Caleb kept saying, you know, Scott Foster was the ref. And the Knicks are 13-3 when he referees their games lately. But this ain't about the refs in this game at all. You can't blame the referees. And Caleb said this 5 different times during that broadcast, it seemed like. He was making emphasis on that for the people who want to try to blame the refs for stuff. No, you can't do that. So here's why. So in this particular game, you had OG go 9 for 16 from the floor, 3 of 6 from 3. So that's 56% he shot and 50% from 3. He had 10 rebounds, but an assist is still on the block for 22 points. Josh Hart, 4 of 10 from the floor, bad from 3, 1 of 5. He had 9 rebounds again, 3 assists, 2 steals. Had 10 points. Cat was 6 of 10 from the floor, only shot 1 3, hit some free throws. He had 10 boards, 10 assists, 2 steals, 20 points. Bridges, 3 or 4 from the floor. He only took 4 shots. So I guess he knows his limitations, right? He took 4 shots, hit 3 of them, had 2 rebounds, 1 assist, at 8 points. Brunson was 7 of 18 from the floor, 3 of 7 from 3, hit 2 free throws, had 3 assists, had a steal, had 6 turnovers, he had 19 points. Deuce McBride played 22 minutes again, 4 of 7 from the floor, 3 of 6 from 3, had 11 points. Jose had 6, Jordan Clarkson had 7, Mitchell Robinson had 8 boards, 6 points. Kolek, he hit a shot, he had 2 points, and Landry Shamet had 3 points. The New York Knicks shot 45% from 3, 49% from the floor. Had 43 total rebounds, had 9 steals in the game. For the Hawks, Dyson Daniels was 3 of 7 from the floor, 0 of 2 from 3, had 6 points. He did have 9 rebounds and 6 assists and 2 steals. So again, as long as he's doing those things, but still 6 points. He's not even getting his average. That's not good. That's bad. He was -9 and plus-minus, by the way. Jalen Johnson was 4 of 12 from the floor. I need someone to explain to me how that's good. 1 of 5 from 3. That's 20%. I need someone to explain to me why that's good. Another game where he had 3 rebounds in the game. I need someone to explain to me why that's good. He had 5 assists, but he averaged like 8 assists during the regular season. I need someone to explain to me why you think that's good. He had 14 points. He was -19 and plus-minus. Okongwu only took 7 shots, hit 4 of 7. He had 6 boards, an assist, and 4 steals. He did have 4 steals. He had 12 points, though. He was -10, plus and minus. NAW was a lot more efficient than he has been this series. He was 5 of 11, 45% from the floor. He was 5 of 10 from 3. He was the only one dangerous from 3. That's 50%. He had 4 boards and an assist. He had 6 turnovers, though. He had 15 points. He was -17 in the plus-minus. Gabe Vincent was 3 of 6 from the floor. He had 10 points. Mohamed Gay took 1 shot. He missed it. He did have 4 rebounds, -12 from the floor. Didn't score. Kuminga was 3 of 10 from the floor. He missed all 6 of his threes. He was 4 of 5 from the free throw line at 10 points. Kispert was 1 of 7 from the floor. I need someone to explain to me going 0 of 3 from 3 while Buddy Hield would not be a better option. No one has still been able to explain that to me. He scored 3 points. Bradley got a little bit of playing time. He hit his only shot, hit 2 free throws. Had 5 boards, though. Shoot, play him some more. Had 4 points. Keaton Wallace got a little bit of time. Zach got 3 minutes. He hit a 3. Newell got some playing time. He hit a shot, had a rebound, and what is this? A steal and a block. Again, how come he's not getting any minutes that Mohamed Gay? 10 minutes of Asa is better than 10 minutes of Mohamed Gay. 10 minutes could be a difference maker. We shot 41% from the floor, 24% from 3. We shot 41 threes. I've been saying that's not sustainable, but whatever, right? 38 rebounds. We did have 8 steals. We had 5 blocks. We had 8 blocks the game before, but we had 5 blocks this night. Now, all that being said, let's go into the game chart. The New York Knicks had 50 points in the paint. They had 15 second chance points. They had 8 fast break points. We were actually pretty decent. We were good on fast break points. 8 was after the fact, after the game was already over, basically. 15 second chance points. It's kind of even because we had 17. The 50 points in the paint again. How many more? That's 3 games in a row now. I told you that's not sustainable to keep doing that. But in this case, what really killed us wasn't the free throws. We didn't really get terribly out-rebounded, but again, situational rebound, and I'm going to go and check offensive rebounds in a second. But the Knicks shot 49% from the field for the game. While we shot 41%, we just kept on shooting them threes. While they're shooting 45% from three, we're shooting 24%. There's no way you can win like that. And that's how we've been playing. We were playing like that for like 2 months. Oh, Chris, that's because no, that other player wasn't here. Stop with that. Again, people don't watch no games. That player stopped playing after game December 27th. That player was not in a uniform anymore. So the 2 months it took us to get to 500, it was with these guys. So stop with that. It's a lie. Let's see how many offensive rebounds the Knicks had in this game. As Towns gets a triple-double for no reason. So they had 12 offensive rebounds. Mitchell Robinson had 5 offensive rebounds himself. That's absurd. Don't y'all think that don't matter to y'all though, huh? That's kind of bad. I'm just saying. OG had 10 rebounds. Josh Hart had 9 rebounds, and Cat had 10. R3, Dyson had 9, Jalen had 3, and Okongwu had 6. That's not sustainable. We are not going to win like that, playing like that. Do you not agree? Oh, Chris will play better. Well, let's see. Because this series has not shown that up till now. It just hasn't. And that should be concerning to everybody. So with all that being said, let's break it up periods-wise now, as I did before. So in the first quarter, Jalen did hit his one and only shot that he took in the quarter. Okay? He had 4 points in the first quarter. NAW played almost the whole quarter. He had 6 points. Dyson played almost the whole quarter. He had 2 points. The Knicks outscored us 27-20 in the first quarter. The second quarter, Josh Hart couldn't miss a shot for some reason. He had 9 points. Knicks scored 31 points in the second quarter. We scored 24. Jalen was 1 of 4 in the second quarter. Dyson didn't take a shot. Okongwu hit his 2 shots. CJ couldn't miss. He was 5 of 6. He had 10 points in the quarter, but it didn't matter. We were still down. Okay. Third quarter. And I think this is from the perspective of it just wasn't going to happen. The Knicks scored 28 points in that quarter while we scored 21. Jalen Johnson was 2 of 7 in that quarter. He played the whole third quarter. He was 2 of 7, 1 of 4 from 3, had 1 rebound, had 6 points. CJ was 1 of 4 in the third quarter, 0 of 2 from 3. We're 2 of 12 from 3 in the third quarter. 2 of 12. 2 of 12. And that was basically the game. Because the fourth quarter, basically, nobody played. Dyson only played 2 minutes. Jalen only played 4. NAW played 8 minutes. Okongwu played 3 minutes. The game was over, so you put the bench in. We outscored the Knicks then, 33-28, but the game is already over. So are you still sure that if Jalen Johnson continues to play like this, we can win? Because right now, this is what Jalen Johnson is averaging in the playoffs right now. And it matters, okay? No matter what people say, it matters. He's averaging 19.5 points a game, okay? He's averaging 4.8 assists and 7 rebounds. As compared to what he did in the regular season, it was 22.5 points, so basically 23 points a game, 7.9 assists, so 8 assists, and 10.3 rebounds. We are not getting that version of Jalen Johnson right now, the All-Star Jalen Johnson right now, and we need him. He is our best player. I'm emphasizing that for a reason. It can't be an excuse where it's your first time in the playoffs. It's a whole bunch of people's first time in the playoffs. There's been people who've had their first time in the playoffs over the years, and guess what? They got to elevate themselves. And so far, now maybe it'll happen game 5, but games 1, 2, 3, 4, it hasn't happened yet. Will it show me? Oh, okay, I'm in the wrong one. So let's do this. Oh, I could do it. I guess I can do it from right here. Let's see. Supposed to be playing my music when I'm searching. All right. Okay, so as a reminder, game 1, Jalen Johnson was 8 of 19 from the floor. Is that good? He did hit 3 of 7 from 3, but 8 of 19 from the floor in game 1. He had 7 rebounds. He had 3 assists. He had 23 points. But we needed a lot more. Because if we had gotten a lot more, we might have won game 1. We might have won game 1. But NAW was 6 of 17 in that game. Dyson 2 of 7, of course. Kuminga was 3 of 7. He played 27 minutes. We got 3 of 7 out of him. Does that matter or not, guys? And then game 2, which we did win, we had to win that game, right? We had to win that game, right? In that game, Jalen shot 12 shots. And if you remember, though, what happened the first half of that game as opposed to what happened the second half of that game, right? But we were able to pull that out with him getting 17 points, 3 assists, as CJ got 32 for us, right? We need more out of Jalen Johnson. It shouldn't have been a 1-point win. We should have had that covered. Game 3. Where is everybody? There it is. 8 of 19 from the floor. He did have 8 assists in that game, 10 boards, 24 points. But 8 of 19, 2 of 6 from 3, he's our best player. But he did give us the rebounds and the assists like I've been asking for. We won that game by 1 point. But again, it being sustainable, we saw that in game 4. It's not. Because inevitably, the other part of this is the Knicks. The Knicks aren't a bad team. Knicks 3rd seed in the East. We weren't 3rd seed in the East. The Knicks were. There's reasons why they were. So as I get ready to sign off, what has to happen for the Hawks to win game 5? The pivotal moment in time where whoever wins that game is more than likely going to win the first round, right? Number 1, Jalen Johnson has to play the game of games. Because if he doesn't, it just puts us in a position where can we win the game or not? That's number 1. Jalen Johnson has to play all. We need 25, 10, and 10 out of him. We need a triple-double. We need a triple-double out of Jalen Johnson, bar none, to have a chance to win this game. Okay? We need Kuminga to get us 19 points off the bench. It has to happen for us to have a shot to win this game. CJ is going to have a 25-point game. Got to happen. Can't rely on Dyson. And right now, I wouldn't rely on Okongwu right now. NAW got to give us efficiency. The whole team has to play better defense. whole team has to play better defense because that's one of the other things that's been the issue. Again, second chance points in the paint. These threes that keep going in. Those things have to happen because, again, like I said, the Knicks are going to adjust eventually. It might take them a little bit longer because they got Mike Brown coaching them, but they're going to adjust. Brunson is not going to be on CJ forever. I said that, right? So right now, again, going to New York, we got to get the best out of Jalen Johnson. Whatever they got to do to figure that out. And the other part of that is, if you're going to make Johnson a passer, give him something to pass to. Cut to the basket, slide over. Again, why can't we just post him up? If he's going to take one thing away, take something he can't take away. Post up. Hart should not be able to not – if Hart can stop Jalen Johnson from also backing him down into the paint and getting a layup, we're really in trouble. Aren't we? Anybody can agree with that? Going back to my questions from earlier. Right? Because I'm looking at what happened. Okay? I'm looking at history here. And we need to get out the first round. Again, all this is, again, for the people who believe it's not a big deal to get out the first round, I don't know why you're saying that. It's his first time. No. First of all, also, Kuminga has playoff experience. NAW has playoff experience. CJ has playoff experience. Okongwu has a little bit of playoff experience. Right? We got people who got some experience on this team. But eventually, it's still just basketball. Because you don't have playoff experience, shouldn't mean that you can't play basketball. Gabe Vincent has playoff experience. Buddy Hield has some playoff experience, right? But at the end of the day, it's still basketball. You got to put the ball in the basket. You got to do like Taurean Prince. Put your hands in the air, and you bring the ball down, and that's a rebound. You got to get more of those in the other team to have a chance to win, right? We have to get past the first round. You got people making claims that are nowhere near true or factual. And you're saying, and people have been saying these things without us even getting out the first round. We need to get out the first round before we say anything. Okay? This series could already been over. A lot of people have predicted sweep as it was. We could have been swept out this series. 1 point wins could have easily been 1 point losses. It can't be a win is a win is a win in the playoffs. We literally, I don't even want to go back and look at the free throws in those couple of games because they were egregious, weren't they? Another question. You don't believe that? So again, because of that question that was posed to me, again, it's important to have better players around your best player, whoever that might be, and to continue to contest that it doesn't matter. And you look at these rosters. I mean, literally, again, guys, I'm going to go ahead and do it one more time. And again, I've done a whole episode, okay, on around the ATL, whole episode. But for you and others who are out there who think this, well, I'm about to say, okay, now my computer is slow. So we said, okay, we were 2 games away from the NBA Finals. Let's bring in Chandra Brown Jr., Sharif Cooper, Gorgie Jang, Malcolm Hill, Weston Windu, Kevin Knox, TLC, Skylar Mays, Cameron Oliver, Lance Make You Dance, Dark Liquor Stevenson. That's going to get us over the top. You know how many of those players made the playoff roster? And it mattered, by the way. Again, why? Oh, it hadn't translated. Hold on. Click it again. Kevin Knox, Scholar Mays, Gorgie Jang, TLC made the playoff roster. And out of those people, TLC averaged 1.3 points a game. Scholar Mays averaged 1 point a game. Jalen Johnson was on that roster. He averaged 0. He played 2 games. He averaged 0. Kevin Knox averaged 11 because he scored 10 points in garbage time in game 1. He only played 2 games, so he averaged 11 points a game because he scored 10 points in garbage time. Clint Capella averaged 2 points a game. Okongwu averaged 5 points a game. John Collins averaged 9 points a game. DeLon Wright averaged 8 points a game. Kevin Huerter averaged 9 points a game. And we said, nah, that's enough. We'll run it back again. Because Coach Spo said, I'm a triple team that former player, so he doesn't average 29 and 10 again in the playoffs against my team because I know John Collins is hurt. Other people are hurt. But Clint is hurt. He can't help. Bogey didn't play game 5. Kevin Huerter literally shot 29% from 3. Gallo shot 26% from 3. That was helpful, right? They were all helping. Again, Hunter did his part, though. He stepped up 21 points a game. He stepped up. He stepped up. Then the next year, the very next year after that, right? This is when we decided to bring DJ in, which is, it could have worked, maybe, kind of, depending on what we did everywhere else. We brought in Sadiq Bey, brought in Jarrett Culver, brought in Bruno Fernando, Trent Forrest, AJ Griffin. We know how that ended up, but at the time, it was a pretty decent move. The Holiday Brothers, Frank the Tank, Tyrese Martin, Garrison. Donovan Williams was on that team. We finished 500 that season. Then the next season, of course, we had all the injuries. Sadiq Bey. Look at all these players that missed time that year. Here, Jalen played 56 games that year. Sadiq Bey played 63 games that year. Hunter played 57 games that year. Okongwu played 55 games that year. Y'all don't think that mattered? That basically our core missed most part of the season? Because we know the other player had missed games too. Right? Were we really good when he wasn't in there? No, not really. You had a lot of games we were giving up 120 points, 70 points in the paint, 70% from 3. It was ridiculous. I showed y'all all those games, by the way. We gave up 50 points to Garrison Matthews. What's that boy's name in Detroit? He used to play there? Oh my gosh, I done forgot his name just that quick. Who we give up 50 points to? I gotta look it up now. Hold up. Oh, Malachi Flynn. Did you watch that game? I posted it right here. I showed y'all shot for shot how Malachi Flynn dropped 50 points in the game the Hawks had to hold on to win. It was the last win of the 2023-2024 season. Ridiculous. Patty Mills, Kobe Buffkin, Wesley Matthews, Dylan Windler, Bruno Fernando again. What were we doing? What were we doing? Of course, last year, you have Dominic Barlow, and you're still trying to give Kobe Buffkin a chance, and Loudon and David Roddy the Body. I believed in David Roddy the Body for a second. It's like I believed in Joe Hendry until I couldn't. Jacob Toppin. Niang, of course, finished up the year along with Terrence Mann and Karras. I am not your Casanova. Levert. But guess what? That team won 40 games. If it's not for Jalen missing all games, probably else that year. Just one player. Just that one player can make a difference. Two players can make even more of a difference. We won 6 games more this year than the year before. We went from 40 wins to 46 wins with Jalen playing the whole season, NAW playing a whole season, basically replacing Hunter, and then 20 games of Kuminga. All of this matters. You can't ignore it. You can't deny it. You can't take it away. All these things matter, guys. And if you're going to say someone is just tremendously better than someone, back that up. Because until they match or exceed accomplishments, you can't say someone is better than someone else. And you can't say that the other player is the reason of failings when you look at all these players that failed. There's a reason that somebody leads the league yearly in potential assists. People keep missing shots. You know how many games I showed here on Around the ATL of just whole quarters of just 15 points being left on the board in a quarter just from missed shots, from missed threes, wide open threes. And you keep passing it to people and they keep missing it. And again, that's why I keep asking, have any of y'all played basketball? Y'all seriously would blame someone for passing you the ball that you missed a shot? You're going to blame that player? That's not a manly thing to do. Sorry, it just isn't. You've got to blame yourself for missing that wide open layup or dunk or three-pointer or 15-foot mid-range. Why would you blame someone else for you missing your shot? That's wild stuff, ain't it? How come you let this person score 73 points? That other person wasn't guarding them. You were. What are you talking about? You see what I'm saying? Why you let this team hit 55% from 3? Where were you? It all matters, guys. That's all I'm ever going to say about that. People keep saying stuff and it don't make sense because we got video. Just besides the actual statistical accomplishments on the floor of everybody who plays on the team, and you can see everything from the box score and the game charts and everything, but you actually have the game footage. It's crazy. It's crazy talk. We need the best out of Jalen Johnson. He is the guy. He is the one who's been elevated. No matter what anybody says, that's what it is. And if you can't accept that, then that's a problem in itself, isn't it? That's even more of a problem, right? His first time as an All-Star. He might be All-NBA as well this season. Team is in the playoffs. Team won the division. But then we possibly might not make it out the first round, and that's not a big deal all of a sudden. It's not a big deal now, right? It was a big deal year before that, right? Year before that. We watched somebody go 29-10 in 2 playoff series. Didn't do too well in that Miami series, though. I already explained why. I showed you why. Everybody knows why. But 2 out of 3 of those playoffs, he was a dominant player, and everybody knew it. Those other teams let him do that? What are we talking about? That was the Celtics he did that to. All we had to do is slow down one of those guys, Jaylen Brown or take the Jason Tatum. Slow one of those 2 guys down instead of scoring 29 points a game. How about 19 points a game? We beat them straight up. We beat them DJ was scoring 22 a game. Hunter was averaging 17 a game. We could beat them. We can beat the Knicks. Will we beat the Knicks? I don't know yet. I'm not sure. I just can't say. I've not seen enough to say we can outright beat this team. The 2 times the Knicks beat us, they beat us. 2 times we beat them, it came down to stuff. And that ain't cool. Teetering on the brink one way or the other. Again, we're as close as being swept as being able to get out the first round. That's just a fact. Oh, well, Chris, no, I want the team to win, but we need to win then. Not almost win, not kind of barely win. We need to win. Well, Chris, it matters what the end of the score is. It matters if we advance. And those games are part of that. Because the other teams are looking at that and be like, man, shoot, we just make sure we do this. Right? Because if they're not going to do those things that are necessary to win on a regular basis, that means we can stop them. We can stop them from doing anything successful. We'll roll the dice and let that person score some points, but as long as that person and that person don't score, they don't have a chance. That's what they look at. That's what I look at when I play basketball. If that person can't hit no shots and this person don't hit no shots, we're winning the night. We're going to win 4 games in a row. That's all you got to do. Oh, double team. Get the ball out of their hands. Anyway, guys, let me get out of here. I got to try to get some other stuff going. Hopefully, again, I want some people to, when you watch this, whenever it is that you watch this, I want y'all to answer those questions I asked earlier in the program. Okay. I want y'all to let me know what you think about, game 4. Again, game 5, we got to get Allstar Jalen Johnson. We got to get more out of Kuminga. Like, is Kuminga a bust now? Like, this is he has championship experience. We need that now. To win we got to win the next 2 games. We can't let it go to a game 7, especially. We got to win the next 2 games. So for us to win the next 2 games, we need Jalen Johnson, All-Star Jalen Johnson. We need Kuminga. And then a combination of either or, NAW or CJ, right? One of those 2, preferably both of them. Because if we can get both of them at the same time, we could beat this team. NAW was most improved. We need the most improved player in the NBA to do what he do. That's what we need. And we really need Dyson Daniels to score 12 points a game, for crying out loud. He had been doing that at least during the season. And he did better last year, of course. He won most improved last year, right? We need Okongwu to rebound. We can't have him being timid. We really don't need him shooting threes. Again, that's coaching. Okongwu, we don't need you shooting threes. We need you to help rebound. We need to help you. We need people blocking out. We need you in there. You're our guy. That's coaching right there. We need him in there, mixing it up. Elbows flying. We need him. It is what it is. We got nobody else. We're playing a 6-man rotation. So we need all those things. If we can get all those things happening at the same time, we can beat the Knicks two games in a row, I think. But otherwise, full tilt Jalen Brunson and full tilt Cat. That's going to be a tough sell, guys. I'm just saying. Now Deuce McBride got his confidence up. He's hitting shots now, getting playing time. OG keeps playing the way he's playing. Who's stopping OG out there? Anybody? Bueller, right? So, again, we got to get out the first round. Whether or not we play the Celtics or Philly doesn't matter. We got to get out the first round and get to the second round and then see what happens after that. But if we don't make it out the second round, guys, I'm sorry, it would be looked at as a failure. This is being honest. You do these things to be necessary to get better from one season to another, to not get out. Again, if we don't win the championship this year, next year, or the year after that, Jalen Johnson will be 29 years old at that point. Would he want to continue to stay here? And or would the Hawks want him here anymore? But if that was to happen and he's gone, that basically means we wasted 12 seasons and got nothing out of it. 12 years gone. I don't think anybody would be happy with that. What about y'all? Just saying. Just being honest. It's not going to be enough, guys. We have to win. We have to win now. Otherwise, what was it all for, right? Because then you're really in a rebuild mode. And you never, as things are right now, we're going to keep getting 6'9" centers too, right? Anyway, guys, let me get out of here. Make sure you subscribe to the IMT and Worldwide Radio YouTube page. I do have a Falcons draft review coming. Don't know when it's going to be just yet. Trying to figure out with my co-host, seeing when he's available. But look out for that. Make sure you subscribe. Tell at least one other person to subscribe if you like what you heard here. Again, I like to talk facts. I don't like making up stuff. So, yeah. In the meantime, I'll talk to y'all later. And yes, I am working on a new intro. Again, I'm really far behind, but I'm sorry. Schedule is busted right now to do a lot of different things at the same time. But I'm working on it. I promise you I am. So that being said, this is Chris around the ATL. Y'all have a great rest of the week. And y'all take care. Peace.
Dribble, pass, throw, catch, hit, slide, grab, respect, around the AT.